Hello, storytellers. We've journeyed through the miraculous birth and the powerful ministry of Jesus. Today, we arrive at the most agonizing yet most essential chapter of his life, the moment God's plan for humanity's redemption was fulfilled. This is the story of the death of Jesus, the crucifixion. The story begins in the shadowed tension of the final Passover week in Jerusalem. Jesus knew his time had come. After the Last Supper, he went with his disciples to the Garden of Gethsemane to pray. While Jesus was wrestling in prayer, experiencing anguish so deep that his sweat was like drops of blood, the tragic climax was set in motion by one of his own. Judas Iscariot, one of the 12, had secretly agreed to betray Jesus to the chief priests for 30 pieces of silver. Judas led a large crowd composed of armed temple guards and Roman soldiers to the garden. He identified Jesus with a deliberate kiss, a sign of ultimate hypocrisy. Jesus was arrested and bound. While Peter impulsively tried to defend him with a sword, Jesus commanded peace, submitting willingly to the arrest. In that moment of terror, all his disciples fled in fear. Jesus was then dragged through a series of unjust, illegal trials. First, he was brought before the Jewish council, the Sanhedrin, and questioned by the high priest Caiaphas. Despite the council hunting for false evidence, they found none. Finally, Caiaphas demanded, "Are you the Christ, the Son of the Blessed One?" Jesus answered, "I am." This declaration was immediately seized upon by the council as blasphemy, and they condemned him to death. But the Jewish leaders didn't have the authority under Roman rule to carry out a death sentence. So they brought Jesus to the Roman governor, Pontius Pilate. The charge was strategically changed from blasphemy to sedition, claiming to be king of the Jews, a rival to Caesar. Pilate found no basis for the charges and tried repeatedly to release Jesus. He could see this was a matter of religious jealousy, not a political threat. Pilate then offered the crowd the traditional choice of releasing one prisoner for the Passover festival, Jesus, or the notorious murderer, Barabbas. Incited by the chief priests, the crowd roared, "Crucify him! Give us Barabbas!" Fearing a riot and wanting to protect his political position, Pilate symbolically washed his hands of the decision, delivering Jesus to be scourged and crucified. The Roman soldiers then subjected Jesus to brutal humiliation. They stripped him, mocked him, placed a crown of thorns on his head, and dressed him in a scarlet robe, hailing him as the mocked King of the Jews. They then led him out, forcing him to carry the heavy wooden crossbeam through the streets of Jerusalem. The journey led to Golgotha, the place of the skull. There, he was nailed to the cross between two criminals. The sign above his head read, in 3 languages for all to see, "Jesus of Nazareth, the King of the Jews." From 9 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon, Jesus hung on the cross. The soldiers mocked him, the religious leaders taunted him, and even passers-by insulted him. Yet, hanging in unimaginable agony, Jesus uttered profound words that echoed through eternity. He prayed for his executioners. "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." He promised paradise to the repentant criminal beside him. "Truly I tell you, today you will be with me in paradise." At noon, a terrifying sign occurred. Darkness came over the whole land and lasted until 3 in the afternoon. This was no normal eclipse. It was a cosmic sign of the moment of ultimate spiritual reckoning. At the 9th hour, around 3 p.m., Jesus cried out with a loud voice, "Eloi, Eloi, lema sabachthani?" which means, my God, why have you forsaken me?" This was the heart of the sacrifice, the moment when the Son of God, who had known perfect fellowship with the Father, bore the full weight and penalty of the world's sin, experiencing separation for our sake. Finally, knowing that every prophecy and every act required for redemption was complete, Jesus declared with a loud cry, "It is finished." This wasn't a cry of defeat, but a shout of victory. The debt was paid. The mission was accomplished. He then bowed his head and gave up his spirit. Immediately upon his death, two supernatural events occurred. The massive curtain in the temple, the veil separating the holy place from the most holy place, was torn in two from top to bottom. This symbolized that the barrier between God and humanity was forever removed. Access to God was now open to all through Jesus. At the same time, the earth shook and rocks were split. The Roman centurion guarding the cross, witnessing the manner of his death and these cosmic signs, declared in awe, "Surely this man was the Son of God." Jesus Christ, the innocent Lamb of God, died for the sins of humanity, fulfilling his divine mission to redeem all who believe. And from the solemn truth of the crucifixion, we learn powerful lessons that can strengthen your faith today. First, the depth of God's love. The cross is the ultimate measure of God's love. He did not spare his own Son, but allowed him to suffer for you. When you doubt your worth or God's care, look to the cross. It is the guarantee of his boundless love and commitment to your soul. Second, forgiveness is free, but costly. Jesus' death means that forgiveness is freely offered to you, but remember it came at the highest possible price. We should never take the gift of grace for granted. It was bought with the innocent blood of the Son of God. This should lead us to a life of gratitude and reverence. And third, find courage in his submission. Jesus submitted to injustice and agony to fulfill the Father's will. When you face pain, injustice, or moments where you must choose principle over ease, remember his perfect submission. Your greatest strength is often found not in fighting back, but in surrendering your will to his perfect plan. Thank you for joining us for this powerful story. If this strengthened your faith today, please like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you never miss an update. And I want to ask you, what does Jesus' dying cry, "It is finished," mean to your life personally? Tell us in the comments.